Folks, we need to talk about 40-year mortgages, maybe 40-year mortgages with a 10-year ARM or 10-year interest only, excuse me. Are they the answer? How about 2-1 buy downs with DSCR loans? How about a 6-month ARM with a max increase of 2%? What is everything going on in the market? We're going to talk with the boys from Convoy Home Loans. How you guys doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Well, Dustin, why don't you talk about 40-year loans? Talk about them maybe not being the best answer for folks, although people think they are the answer.
Yeah, so those viewers can probably recall about 2.5 years ago when we were one of the first to bring out the 40-year fix, first 10 years interest only, right? And of course, we still get calls about that daily and clients asking, like, can I go with the 40-year? And at this point in time, with where rates are at, it doesn't actually make sense to do the 40-year anymore. And we'll break it down and explain it because on a 40-year interest only, the cost and the rate are higher than the 30-year interest only.
Oh,
okay. But their payments are identical in the first 10 years.
yeah.
So why go with the 40-year and I'm not a betting man, maybe on this I might be, but there's going to be most likely a point in time over the next 10 years that you could refi and lower the rates from where they're at today, right? You got 10 years because
10 years, I think that's a safe guess. 10 years, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Yeah.
And like, it just doesn't make sense at this point. So when people call in, ask about the 40, that's all they really want. They want the 40, they want the cool, shiny new toy, but we're telling everybody, look, the 30-year interest only is actually the way to go if you're considering, interest only.
Yeah. Well, I think the beauty of what you just shared is you're willing to talk to the client. You're willing to share kind of the math. A lot of folks, let's be honest, would take that phone call, shove them in the product and be done with the thing, right? Give the client what they want, right? And you're like, no, at Convoy, we're going to tell them what's good for them. And, the 40-year is not today. It doesn't seem like it is the answer, and it's never always the answer. So I appreciate that about what you guys do. That just shows how good a shop you run.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And the 30-year right now is, like Dustin said, the same product, but the prepay, right, which we always talk about prepayment penalties as well, right? If you're not going to be able to touch it for 3 or 5 years, if that's what you decide on the prepay, what's the point of taking a 40-year and locking yourself in for worse terms, So that's kind of the other thing that we've been telling. And also for clients right now, we just wanted to throw a reminder out there too, that's like clients are actually taking advantage of. It's 2-to-1 buy downs on these DSCR loans.
That was so cool. You guys brought that to market.
Yeah. Because I mean, you're buying these things. Let's say the starting rate is a 7.75, but the seller's willing to give you 2%, like on the math. And if they're willing to do that and they hold it in that escrow account, they pay it out, you're essentially paying on the first year of 5.75. So it's exactly. Like with 25% down, you do a DSCR purchase of cash flow as well, then you're actually winning the first 2 years because you're way below market for those first 2-year time frame. And then do a 3-year prepay, then refi on year 3, or something like that when rates kind of ease out. Because we know now, like, it's no secret anymore, like rates next year, you're not going to get the rate that you want to be able to refinance to a lower payment, right? It may go down, it may go up, who knows what it's going to do. But in reality, there's just not going to be enough equity in your house, one. But two, you're just not going to be able to refinance in 1 year and really be able to lower your payment. It's just not going to be possible, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think the 2-1 buy down is something it's been around for a while and conventional. And the fact that you've brought it to DSCR loans, I want the investors here to listen. If you're getting a DSCR loan and you're doing what I'm telling you to do the work, get a great deal, yada, 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 get that extra seller credit so you could do a 2-1 buy down. Make sure the first year cash flows even that little extra. Make sure the next year. And again, some people ask, is a 2-1 buy down a 30-year loan? Absolutely. It's a 30-year fixed rate loan. It's just the first 2 years are prepaid by the seller and they're just paid out of escrow, right? So a 2-1 buy down is the way to go. And then the other thing you guys are talking about is you had somebody call up about a 6-month ARM, which I will admit freaks me the hell out. But you do have a cap on the interest rate.
It's been something we've had for about 1.5 years now, and it's, when rates are super low, those aren't as attractive, right? ARMs aren't as attractive. When rates are higher, now people start exploring 5-1. Oh, you got a 3-1. Oh, you got a 6-month arm. 6 months at the lowest rate now, 5.8. So it's a much bigger risk. Don't get us wrong. We're not telling clients you should do a 6-month arm. We tell them, look, run the numbers. Here's where it shakes out. You go with the 30-year fix, you're at 7.7 right now, right? You can go with the 6-month arm, you're at 5.8. In month 7, worst case, you're back at 7.7. Okay. Maybe the market's still the same, maybe it's a little lower. That's when you can refi, but you'll gain 6 months of, possibly much better cash flow. Or maybe you'll gain 12 months. Because remember, it doesn't have to go up, it could go down. It's not going to go down lower than 5.8, but that first adjustment might be 5.8 to 6.5. So it's a person that does maybe like to inherit more risk than others, but it's definitely a popular product we're seeing now with our investors.
Yeah, and again, the point about Convoy Home Loans is you have the products, and again, people go back and watch your playlist. You're rolling out new products all the time, such like DSCR 2-1 buy down we just talked about, 40-year mortgage where we started, way back when. But you're willing to talk people through scenarios. You'll talk about the deal, you talk about the equity, you'll talk about their time frame, their hold period, right? You guys ask all of these questions. You're not just going to take a phone call, slam out somebody in a file, and be done with it. So I appreciate that. People tell me that all the time. If somebody wanted to reach out and say, hey, what might be right for me, how do they do that?
Go to convoyhomeloans.com and let us know you came from ORAT.
Yeah, you tell them you came from ORAT, you get one of these two guys. If you don't, no promises. Thanks, guys. We'll talk next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.